In this film, I'm going to show you two ways of applying what seems like a hammered finish to a silver band. My name's Andrew Berry, and welcome to At the Bench's YouTube channel. The first way I'm going to show you involves literally hitting the ring with, in this case, the rounded end of a planishing hammer. You can always use the rounded end of a ball peen hammer, just like this one here. But this end here, the ball end, is a little bit larger than this one. And we want to get nice sort of sharp dents into the metal. Now, the only problem that you've got with this particular type of technique is that as you're hammering the metal, you're actually stretching the metal in all directions. The end, the ball here, the end will hit the metal, it goes in and spreads the metal. So you're going to find that if you make the ring to a particular size, once you've hammered it all the way around with this hammer, you're going to find that the ring will be made bigger, not only in finger size, but also in width as well, because it stretches in all directions. That's one thing you've got to take into consideration. You want the ring to end up to be a particular size. Make it about 2 sizes in the UK or 1 size in the US smaller than what you actually need, and the hammering process will then enlarge the ring to the size that you want. If it doesn't come quite close to that size that you want, you can always just hammer it with a rawhide mallet or put it onto an upright ring stretcher and stretch it a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do first of all. So supporting the mandrel at one end and also holding it with your hand with the other end. And also what you need to do is to keep pulling the ring down, because as you hit the ring, the metal is going to stretch, and keep pulling it down. You're going to be pulling it tight down onto the mandrel. You simply just hit it from all different directions. Going over the areas that you have hit previous as well. As you can see, the ring is coming further down the mandrel with every different hammer mark I make. So you end up with a really nice pattern that looks something like that. The next way is we're going to be using some round ball burrs. These ball burrs are a really good way of applying what looks like a hammered finish. The advantage that you've got with a ball burr is that it doesn't stretch the metal. It keeps the metal exactly as it is in the correct finger size and also the correct width, but it does remove metal. So you are going to be losing some metal. If you're using silver or you're using gold, don't forget to actually trap the lemel, the dirt, the filings that come off the actual ring, so you can save it and you can reclaim it at a later stage. Now, when you were hammering it, it's very difficult to hammer on the outside edges of the ring because the hammer actually gets in the way of the mandrel. So the pattern does not necessarily go right to the very edge of the ring because you'd be denting the mandrel as you hammer. This particular technique enables you to get all the way around the ring. But what we need to do first is put this into a ring clamp. You can put it into a normal wedge type ring clamp, and you can leave the area that you're working on sticking above, like that there, and now you've got complete control all the way around the ring. Or you can use a GRS fitting that just slots up onto your bench peg like that, and then the ring fits over the fitting here, and again you've got complete control over the whole area of the ring you're working on. get my flex shaft and just pop that in. So I've got about a 2mm ball burr here, and we can use this now to go over the whole ring. But in this case, I'm actually just doing the same ring, but putting the pattern on one side with the hammer and then the pattern on the other side, just so you can see the difference. A little bit of lubrication always helps on the burr as well. So as you can see now with that pattern, it's a lot more detailed, it's a lot more coarse as well. But the only problem that you have with this particular type of technique is that the dents that you're putting in, where you'd use the ball burr, they're not shiny. They're slightly going to be textured from the burr itself. When you come to use the hammer, if the face here is polished, well then the dents are going to be polished as well. So that is the only one drawback that you've got with the ball burr. Yep, you can come along with a white nylon brush to go over it to try and polish it. That's another way, but whether you can get down deep into those little crevices and those little sort of dents would be another matter. So actually I've just gone and polished up the ring. I wanted just actually to see and to satisfy myself how good that burr was and how the polish was. And as you can see, the bird pattern actually has polished up quite nicely. We used a soft calico mop with a little bit of Tripoli on it, a bit of pre-polish. That's also taken a bit of the harshness off the edges as well, and actually has in fact polished up the bottoms of those cavities actually quite nicely. And if you compare that now to the hammered finish that we've got on this side here, you can see how much of a difference that actually looks as opposed to the hammered look, which is okay, it's quite subtle, but not as defined as the ball burr. So there we have it. We have two different ways to apply what is a hammered effect. I said hammered effect because the one is a hammered effect, the second one is not quite a hammered effect. I suppose you could always use a punch, a rounded punch, and tap the dents into the ring as well if you wanted to do it that way. That's another perfectly acceptable way of doing it, but we've got the two ways here, the hammered and the ball burred. Two effects, whether you want it nice and subtle, or whether you actually want it quite sharp and nice and defined. And it polishes up really, really nicely, actually. I'm quite surprised with myself on that. Anyway, there we go. Two ways that you can produce a hammered effect upon a ring, whether it be gold, whether it be silver, copper, brass, or whatever. So don't forget, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget, smash that little bell icon on the end there if that is something that you're into, but it's not on the end there, it's down there. To be notified when films go live on our YouTube channel, don't forget, please give this film a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget, please share it with your friends. I'd absolutely love you too. But in the meantime, my name is Andrew Berry for At The Benches YouTube channel. Take care. See you very soon. Ta-da.